keep doing what we're doing.
Keep on doing what we're doing. Dude, I was thinking about this the other day, though. My son, how many times is it that it's like we're working, man, and it's like, oh, I could finish this field tonight.
Right.
And it's like, I know the boys are going down to bed. And I was sitting there, I was playing with the boys the other day. I'm sitting there, I'm talking about the investment of time, and I'm like, if I work my entire life, if I work my butt off my entire life, and I build a great operation, take an operation and grow it, maintain it, streamline, but there is no one that appreciates it or can manage it at the end, I think I'm going to feel like it's an entire career wasted, And so I was like, dude, I just sat down with the boys. I was like, if this isn't on point, none of the rest of this is going to last. And it's so easy to be like, I'm going to go get that one more field sprayed. I'm going to, I'm going to go ahead and change this hose tonight on here. And I'll spend some time later with the kids. But I mean, if you really want to leave a legacy, like, yeah, we got to invest in the kids first.
Yeah. I think we're all four of us here. We know how to operate a farm. We know how to make it work. We know how to handle the curveballs that happen. So, say if we had a breakdown at 8 o'clock at night, and you have 20 acres left, you're not going to finish that night. So, take that scenario, go spend it with your kids, because it is our responsibility to get them educated in how to maintain the farm. We know how to do it. How can we teach them how to do it for their next generation and the generation following? And that's our responsibility.
Well, it's a matter of, you're working with a kid on something, and he's got your wrenches spread in the dirt and the, whatever. And he's, he just crapped his pants, and you're trying to do this, and you're like, I cannot do anything. I can't, how many times do we as dads leave the house and we're like, oh yes, I can get something done now. And it is, now listen, it is important to have those times. And we're all in the same business of, we get windows where we have to push, and we have to push really hard. Mm-hmm. But it's very important. Someone told me this one time, there are seasons in life, and there's a season in the year, and there's a season in your job. It's like, okay, we got 2 weeks here. We're going to push really hard. And I tried to sit down with the boys last spring. 1-year-old didn't care. But, hey, Daddy has to go. Daddy will not see you much unless you're riding with me the next couple weeks. Yeah. Because if Daddy gets done, Daddy can spend more time with you when he's done. The problem is we get cranking and rolling.
We never get done.
We always find something else to do.
Yeah.
And so it's a matter of forcing yourself to shut down, now, I don't know. I think we live in a time where at least the equipment allows us to take our kids with us.
Yeah.
Yes. Quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. You think about that. You're saying, I'm going to be gone for a few weeks, and how fast our kids are experiencing new things and how fast they're growing up, in a sense. What 3 weeks to you is a very large window in development for them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's tremendous.
And on like the riding side that I can't get nothing done. I can't do that. I've really tried to hone in with my daughters on that, and I'm not perfect at all with it. I struggle very often because it gets frustrating. You're like, I'm trying to do something. Like, why can you just go to daycare today or whatnot? But every experience you bring them along with you on that is a life experience for them. It's new. Riding in the tractor, going hunting, going fishing is my job as a father. And I have to remind myself this a lot, because it's easy to get in that snappy mood where you're like just ruining everything. Like, why can I get nothing done? Is trying to make this as fun as possible, no matter what it is. It could be riding in the tractor. Well, you know what? Then we're going to kick on the Frozen soundtrack on the radio, and we're going to sing, and we're going to have a good freaking time.
That's right.
So it's like everything. Like, how do you continue that next generation is not ruining the experience for them every time they're there. If you're mad and snappy and trying to get stuff done every time they're around you, they're going to be like, this sucks.
Yeah. And then we wonder why our kids don't want to do what we do.
Exactly.
Bingo. And that's exactly where I was going, and back to touch on the hunting. Me and you had a great conversation. I took my daughter hunting for the first time this year. Yeah. And I'm probably a little over the top on my deer hunting tactics versus the population. I'm very serious about it. And
Just for clarification.
right. And so the fact that I took my 4-year-old daughter out there, she didn't have an ounce of camouflage on her body. I'm pretty sure it was mostly hot pink.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I remember those Snapchats.
I might have gotten her to wear a black sweatshirt. That's it. Everything else was, and the fact that it was like, how do I make this fun, easy, less, drove the 4-wheeler right to the blind, access and entry, throw it out the window, hated everything about it, right? Took her up the ladder. We sat in the tower blind, had a good freaking time.
Yeah.
The best. I will never forget that hunt. But for that, it was like, how do I get out of this? This isn't deer hunting. This is a night with your daughter.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Get
exactly
out of
right.
this. Make this the time of her life.
Sure.
And what after that night, through it all, it was 20 minutes before sunset. The witching hour.
Yeah.
Best time to be out there. She's like, Dad, I want to go. I sat there. I'm like, do I force her to sit here till dark? Make her scared of the dark walking out? Turn this into a bad experience. And I know this is off farming here, but it's kind of like along the same line.
Farming legacy. Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's go, babe. Let's go hunt. Like, just let's end this on a high note. Had fun. Man, every time I put an ounce of camouflage on, are we going hunting, Dad? Can I go? Can I go with you?
Yeah.
Can we go? I was like, boom, I succeeded. So I try to take that mentality into every single thing, whether it's be farming, no matter what experience, where she's hopping in the truck and we're going to do something, is like, let's make this just a blast.
Yeah.
Make it a good experience, a memory for her, a core memory.
Positive attitude goes a long way too. They feed off positive energy. So.
Yep.
And
that
then
was
you
a
realize,
long
and
way
then you
of saying-
realize
Yeah.
how much you're like being anal about your little nitpicky stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because, I took Wesley, he dropped something and it hit the side of the blind so loud. I was convinced every deer for a mile heard it.
Gone.
Yeah. Anyway, we saw more deer that night than if I was out there doing everything perfect, and he's out there and there's deer in the food plot. It was snowing. Is that nasty weather?
Yeah.
He's pulling ice off the window and eating it. His arms out there, all this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's kind of like farming.
Yeah.
It kind of zeroes your mindset of what really matters.
Yeah.
How much makes a difference? How much was I doing was just stupid,
Right.
and didn't actually affect the
Yeah.
needle as much as I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
The older I get, the more, it's like, it's going to be okay. Whatever it is, whether it be something with your kids or
gonna be
farming
okay.
or whatever, you just got to, it's going to be fine.
Guys, if you've liked the information that you've seen so far, go ahead and check out the full-length podcast on our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe there. It's also on all the major podcast platforms. We're constantly dropping info and more content on all the social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Check it out for a lot more content